has to reach out its own population, built on a kind of trust and confidence with its own population. You know, you have those two compounds of counterterrorism, hard power and soft power. But I think soft power is very important. You have to provide youth with opportunities, with employment. You have to empower women within the society, because women is half of the society, and women has a very important role to play when it comes to countering violent extremism within the family, as a mother, as a sister. Those governments, even they try to be involved in, I would say, worldwide strategy, if you don't have a kind of legitimacy at the local and national level, it will be kind of failed strategy. So you have to start within your country. You have to create a kind of conducive environment built on trust and confidence with your population. And then, of course, terrorism is, I would say, it's a transnational threat. So it cannot be limited within the national border of the country, but you have to cooperate with your neighbors. You have to cooperate with the sub-regional organizations in Africa. You have to cooperate, of course, with the African Union. This is very important.
Now, as we close, we've appreciated this discussion with Dr. Jabnoun, but I must ask, are these summits political propaganda? Is there something that is going to come out of this? And is this just a way for people to just create discussion and a distraction from really what is happening across our world?
It's very difficult to answer to this question, but I think you have a sense of awareness within leaders across the world. So country like the United States that started an airstrike campaign since, I think, May or June 2004, and the operation is underway. And I think it's very difficult to neutralize elements on the ground. They don't have a kind of very I would say, visible structure of command, control, and communication and intelligence. Means they don't have this famous pyramid that we can find within regular military structure. So you are trying to address a situation which is very fluid on the ground, and which needs more than, I will say, airstrike campaign. But at the end of the day, it's not only, this is not like an American war. Mm-hmm. It's a struggle for those local governments in the region, in the Middle East and in Africa, to handle those issues, but within the framework of human rights. You cannot. Because terrorism, perhaps you will use it as an alibi to move forward and to try to violate the rule of law. So I think that security sector should be professionalized, and everything should be handled within the framework of the rule of law. This is very important. I would say the most important element in this war, or if we can call the war or the struggle, is the citizen. If you are able to be inclusive, to respect your citizens, and to be able also to deliver when it comes to socio-economic challenges, then I think you will be able, I won't say to win, but at least to mitigate the challenges of violence, extremism, and terrorism.
The battle against terrorism continues on the other side of the Mediterranean, as Iraqi allied forces have been making great efforts to retake the town of Tikrit from the Islamic State militants. All through last week, they said they were making steady progress into the town and have already recovered some villages. Iraqi forces appear to be making great gains towards recapturing all of Tikrit from the Islamic State militants. During a visit to the front line last week, the Iraqi Defense Minister Khalid al-Obeidi said operations against ISIS in the Salahuddin province was going as planned. A video released by the Ministry of Defense seemed to affirm his point. It showed IS targets being hit and black smoke billowing from them. Observers believe a victory in Tikrit would give Iraqi forces momentum for the next stage of the campaign to retake Mosul, the largest city under control of ISIS and part of the self-proclaimed caliphate. IS took the town last June, converting the complex of palaces built by former Iraqi President Saddam Hussein to its headquarters. The battle has not been easy, and Kurdish authorities say Islamic State militants have used chlorine gas on them. The Security Council of the semi-autonomous Kurdish region said in a statement that the Peshmerga had taken soil and clothing samples after an Islamic State suicide bombing in northern Iraq in January. It said laboratory analysis showed the samples contained levels of chlorine that suggested the substance was used in weaponized form. The Kurdish authorities said in their statement that they had long suspected that IS had been using chemical agents and cited video footage from battles around the city of Tikrit between the militants and Iraqi troops and allied Shiite militia, where plumes of orange smoke were visible. Meanwhile, Kurdish fighters have retaken more lost ground at the town of Tal al-Wad, Kirkuk. The battle of recovering lost ground at the town began at 8 on Friday morning. A Kurdish troop launched attacks on the extremist groups. Damaged vehicles and heavy machinery were abandoned by the extremists when they retreated in defeat. Kurdish fighters successfully drove off the extremists in an important warehouse where an armored vehicle was loaded with bombs. We've come to the end of the program this week. We look forward, though, to your thoughts on the issues discussed. Please send them to @diplomatic_chan or @Amarachi_Ubani. I am Amarachi Ubani. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.